Welcome to week 3. My name is Tola Williams, and this is Talent and Treasures with Tola. I'm so excited about our topic today. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Today is about self discovery. Self discovery. Why do you behave the way you do? Why do you spend the way you do? Or why do you save aggressively? Or perhaps you hate to talk about money. The big question is why? Why? What's a relationship with money like? Who taught you everything you know about money? Or maybe a large chunk? Who taught you? Did your parents ever teach you about how to handle money? Or did you just figure it out for yourself? Did you observe how your parents handled money and how has that shaped your own relationship with your own money? In some places, the popular culture is daddy works, he earns money, and pays all of the bills, while mom would sometimes work or sometimes stay at home. And when mom spends her own money on household bills, it's considered as helping the man because the man is supposed to be the sole provider. Did you grow up in this kind of environment? And do you have this kind of mindset as well, where your husband's money or my husband's money is our money, but my money is my money? Or maybe at some point you watched your mom come to the rescue of the family with her secret savings when your dad lost his job. And because of that, you learned the habit of saving aggressively. You know, there are so many things, so many scenarios that could have played out to inform your relationship with money. Yeah, so many things could have happened, and I don't want to go into that and how trauma in the past and things that happened in the past can affect. But generally, people's money personality types are shaped by a combination of 3 factors. The first is parental influence, the second is life experiences, and the third is individual temperament. While parents often provide the first model for how to manage finances, life experiences and personal traits, they further refine how individuals approach money. So let me talk a bit about how these 3 factors interact. The very first one that I spoke about is parental influence. It's said that kids learn more from what they see than what they are told. That's the power of modeling, right? Children often absorb financial habits from their parents, from just watching their parents, just observing how the parents handle money, how the parents make decisions, and how the parents discuss finances. For instance, a child raised by frugal parents might adopt a saver mentality, while a child raised in an household where there's frequent spending and buying and things like that, that child might develop a tendency to spend impulsively. Also, the attitude of parents towards money instill values in children. Whether the parents are doing it deliberately or not, the kids are absorbing these things. So whether the parents think that they view money as something to be spent, something that they need to hoard, or something that they need to share. All of these things affect a child's money personality. Whether or not parents openly talk about money, this significantly affects children's understanding of finances. In some families, they totally avoid money conversations. They don't talk about money. And so they create avoiders. While in other families, they're frequently discussing financial planning, budgeting, or even investing. And this encourages children to develop a proactive approach. And when I say children, I mean children when they become adults. So, number two factor, life experiences. Personal financial milestones such as receiving an allowance, opening a bank account, or working a first job, these things shape an individual's money habits. So, do you remember having a piggy bank as a child and using the money saved up? Maybe you started saving from January and then you saved up all the way to December, using that money to achieve a goal, whether it's to buy a bicycle, to buy a doll, or to just do something fun. Financial hardships, such as growing up in poverty, losing a job, or experiencing a financial crisis, maybe there's recession, or the family got into a huge debt, something like that, can deeply influence a person's money personality. Some people that grew up in extreme poverty, they often become hyper focused on savings, while those that grew up in a lot of money, they might tend to spend recklessly. Again, cultural attitudes of a community towards wealth and access to financial education can also shape how people approach money. So those raised in communities that prioritize entrepreneurship, businesses and things like that, they tend to raise children that are risk takers and children that plan for the future, children that like to invest, children that become adults. So like to invest once they become adults. The number three factor is individual temperament. So your personality trait. People's inherent temperaments, whether they are naturally cautious people, they are risk takers, whether they are naturally organized or maybe even impulsive, these things play a role in shaping financial behaviors. For instance, a person who is generally disciplined and conscientious may naturally gravitate towards planning, while an impulsive person might become a spender, regardless of their upbringing. Regardless of the upbringing. Furthermore, some individuals have strong reactions to money. So some people just have this fear of financial insecurity that just leads them to do things, while others just find joy in spending. So different scenarios can produce different people. The way we have personality types like the sanguine, the choleric, the melancholy, the phlegmatic, we also have money personality types. You could have a primary money personality type and you could have a secondary one. So you have one that is dominant and then you have another one that, just shows up from time to time. It's not dominant, but it's there. When it comes to money matters, people generally fall into several personality types based on their attitudes and their behaviors towards spending money, saving money, and managing their finances. There are several ones out there. If you do a quick Google search, you'll see several money personality types. But I have categorized money personality types into seven, and I'll walk you through them. As I talk about each one, begin to think about yourself. Where do I fall? Who am I? So I'm going to start with the first one, and the first one is the saver. The saver is courteous with money. Oh, they prioritize savings over spending. They prefer financial security. The saver is good at accumulating wealth. They avoid debts. They don't like it. And they always have an emergency fund. You know that friend of yours that always has money. When you need money, that person that always has some money saved somewhere, that is a saver. The challenge of the saver is that they might be overly cautious. So sometimes they miss out on life experiences. They struggle with taking calculated risk, etc. The second money personality type I'd like to discuss is the spender. The spender enjoys spending money, often on things that they don't even need, non-essential items. They just find joy in shopping. It just fills them up. They just like acquiring things, whether they need that thing or not, they just buy. Oh, the spender knows how to live in the moment and to enjoy life. Is the life of the party, the spender. However, the spender, because he's prone to buying impulsively, he accumulates debts and often struggles to save for the future because, of course, they are always spending. Number three is the investor. The investor actively seeks opportunities to grow wealth through investment. You know those people that they buy stocks, they buy shares, they buy bonds, they buy real estate. They're just always thinking about the future. They prioritize building assets. The investor. The investor understands how to make his money work for him. He's focused on long-term goals. However, the investor can take excessive risk. It may neglect short-term financial goals for future growth. For future growth. Number four is the debtor. The debtor always borrows money, is regularly borrowing money. You know those people that have like a lot of credit cards, high interest, yes. They always borrow money from friends, from family, from everywhere. They borrow. They carry high debts from loans, from credit cards, and they tend to live beyond their means. Is there a strength for the debtor? Yeah, there could be. Sometimes they use the debt as a tool to improve their lifestyle or to even invest. The challenge is that they're frequently struggling to pay off the debt. They carry loans that have high interest rates, and because of that, that can lead to financial instability. Number five is the avoider. This person just avoids thinking or dealing with financial issues. They don't like to talk about money. They hate money talks. They tend to ignore the bills or financial statements. Strength, yeah, they live a low stress lifestyle because they don't obsess over money. They don't obsess over money. It's really not their cup of tea. They just want to live life as it comes. The challenge with that though is that because of the lack of financial planning, they seem to take on debts because they're not planning. And sometimes they don't even have a retirement account, savings account, because they're not thinking of the future. They don't like to bother themselves with that. Number six is the order. That person that hoards everything, keeps everything to himself. This person is obsessed with accumulating money. Most often than not, they're reluctant to even spend on necessities. The strength is that they build financial wealth, substantial financial wealth. They always have financial security. However, this can lead to a lack of enjoyment in life. They are reluctant to help others and even to spend on themselves, to enjoy their money, to spend on themselves. They're reluctant to do that. They just keep everything. The last money personality type I want to discuss is the planner. The planner is meticulous in budgeting and financial planning. The planner sets term goals and tries to stick with them. The planner is excellent in managing money. They avoid debt as much as they can and they have clear financial goals. The challenge with the planner is that they can be overly rigid. So because of that, they might miss out on spontaneous opportunities. So for instance, if there's an opportunity to invest right now, because they haven't planned for it and they like things to be orderly and to be planned, they tend to miss out on those opportunities. Can you say that no money personality type is perfect? None. Everyone has a challenge. But knowing who you are can help you address any weaknesses and develop better financial habits. Because if you don't know you have a problem, then you can't seek a solution, right? Knowing who your spouse is as well helps in reduce some money problems. Usually, it's opposites that attract. And while this is cool at the beginning of a relationship, they're enjoying it, they're loving it, it often becomes a point of pain, a pain point as the relationship progresses. So imagine that a saver is married to a spender, or a planner is married to an avoider. Our differences really should not be a problem. It should help regulate each other. We should help regulate each other. So, for instance, I am a planner, and my husband has a total is totally different. His money personality is totally different from mine. If you leave things up to me, I can take forever to plan a vacation because I want to ensure that we have all the resources that we need. I'm ticking all the T's and dotting all the I's. But my husband helps me regulate this weakness by nudging me to buy. He will say, go ahead, buy those tickets, buy them quickly, you know. So we kind of complement ourselves in that sense. At some point, we will talk about money problems in relationship. And I know that this is a big topic. We would address it. Money problems in relationships. So, what is your money personality? What is your money personality? As I mentioned, I am a planner. Who are you? Who are you? I created a 1 to 2 minute quiz, very short quiz, to help you discover your money personality. I will leave the link in the description box in the comment section. Please take this quiz. Take this quiz and let your spouse, let your partner also take this quiz. If you're comfortable, let me know what your money personality type is in the comment section. Let me know. This brings us to the end of lesson 3. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for engaging with this video. I hope that you've learned a couple things from this. If you have questions as well, please feel free to ask in the comments and I will make sure to respond to your comments, your questions. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.